Hi, hello, it's Pip here from queenpipcards.com. Thanks for watching today. Today I want to show you how you can match the Be Mine stitched framelits to the All My Love designer series paper that's in the Spring Summer Catalogue 2018. And then if you do that and get a couple of extra things, you can get this part of my story stamp set for free. And that's basically all I used to create this card. It's a really simple card. It just says, know that today a friend is thinking of you. It has a piece of embellishment up here from the framelits and just a square piece from the designer series paper. So really easy, really simple to do. You could do lots for friends who maybe are feeling a bit down, just somebody you want to give a bit of a lift to and share a little bit of love with. Without it being too kind of romantic-y. So the first thought when you see the Be Mine stitched framelits when you're looking in the catalogue is that they are all about, you know, matching it to the stamp set, which I agree is lovely, and absolutely it matches beautifully. You can make some gorgeous designs with these stamps, but the wording for me, it's not really me. To be completely honest, Sean and I are not very lovey-dovey kind of people, so I never send him a Valentine's Day card. He doesn't believe in Valentine's Day, and I love the Just For You stamps up here, but I really wouldn't necessarily use the rest of this stamp set. But I really loved this cutout piece of the hearts, which they don't actually have they have a tiny picture of at the back of here, and I thought, oh, that looks really nice. So I really liked the hearts, and I love the fact that you could cut out different shapes, and we don't have layering hearts yet in the catalogue apart from this set, so I thought, well, I will just buy the framelits. And then I realised that actually the framelits also help coordinate with the designer series paper from the page before in the All My Love suite. Great, I thought. So let's see what we can do with that. So the Be Mine stitched framelits, you get 16 framelits and they come in a pack like this. And I've got another one here as well. Somehow that fits in. So as you can see, you get all of these beautiful. This heart is just, I mean, isn't that lovely? That decorative heart with all that detail cut out is just, it's really gorgeous. You have a nice scalloped border edge here with a little stitching down it, which I like. A little floral frame piece that cuts out florals, the flower that we're going to be using today. This heart design, which, as I say, it cuts out the heart outlines, so you have a string of outlines, which is beautiful. And then obviously you get lots of little hearts that pop out too, and I've made something with that which I will be showing you shortly, but not just yet. This piece I like because it cuts out from the cardstock but doesn't cut out a hole, as in it doesn't cut out the whole stripe. So I'm going to change this card up when we do it, and I'm going to add these to the top of this so that you get a flash of the lovely lipstick through at the top of your card. So we'll see how that looks. I'm going to try and play with that. And then of course in the second piece you get all of these layering hearts, and the great thing about these is that they are stitched. So you get some plain ones, you get some stitched ones, you get some scalloped ones. So this one here is scalloped and then stitched, and then if you really want to go to town you can add another layer of stitching inside this heart, because this is just stitching, it doesn't actually cut out the shape. So you can just get some stitched hearts on your cardstock, which I think is great, but you can also layer it inside that heart to get a double stitch. It's just, yeah, just fab. You can just do so much with this set. So, and then this one layers inside as well, and again you can just have stitched hearts. So when I looked at that I thought, yeah, I really like that set of framelits. So that's what we're going to be using today. As I say, we're going to be using the cutout piece and the flower. And then just to give you a quick view of all of the papers, because we're only using a tiny piece on my card, this is the set of papers. So you have 3 that are very floral, which I think are beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? Yeah. I mean, just notebooks covered in this. Oh, scrapbook pages, cards, boxes, I mean, you name it, it would look gorgeous. But I think a notebook covered in that would be lovely. In fact, I might even do one of those. Then you get 3 that are more abstract, I would say. So this is lots of little stemmed flowers in seafoam on crumb cake with lovely lipstick as the pop of colour. And then this one is like a, whoa, that's a lot of Zizzy flowers, but they're pretty, aren't they? Gorgeous. And then you get this one, and this one coordinates with your dies. So this scalloped stitched shape here cuts out that heart there, and will leave a white stitched edge and scalloped edge. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this little heart, you guessed it, does exactly the same and cuts out that one. Yummy. So that's really cool. I like the fact that they've coordinated. I love it when they coordinate the framelits and the papers together. It works really well. So that's the front side. So you get those 6 designs there. Obviously you get 2 sheets of everything. And then at the back we have more solid sheets really. We get this solid floral piece, which I think is lovely. We get some spots in diagonals. I think they're spots. I don't think they're hearts. No, they are spots. Then we get sort of a hearty, leafy stem kind of design. Then you get Cupid's arrow with the little hearts and the lines going through it. I always think that looks like an arrow. This sheet is just a mass of hearts. Fabulous. And this sheet is a mass of hearts, but they're all really dinky and tiny, and I really like that sheet. Okay, so you get 2 sheets of each, which is fab, for £10.25, which is even better. So that's really good. So let's move on to the card we're going to be making today. I am going to be using the Big Shot, so we're going to have a few shaky bits, but don't panic about that. We need the lovely lipstick ink pad. We need some lovely lipstick cardstock. So I've cut this in half at 10.5, but of course you can always make it book fold if you wish. So that's my lovely lipstick card base. Then just a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and that's cut 14.4 by, no, it's cut 10 by 14.4. Let's get it right. And then this piece of Designer Series paper I've taken from the big sheet, and it's cut at 3 inches, and I use inches for when I cut a whole sheet of Designer Series paper up. And I just chop it 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then you get these lovely 3x3 squares, which are perfect, you know, backgrounds or fronts, whatever. So that's the size that you need there. You need another piece of lovely lipstick to do this floral piece, but it's so delicate that I always pop a piece of multi-purpose adhesive sheet behind, so that when you cut it, you just peel the sticker off the back and it's sticky. So you don't even need to glue it, you just stick it on and it glues itself. It's almost like double-sided sticky for it. So we'll have that. And then we need the sentiment here, which comes from part of my story, which is a free Sale-a-bration stamp set. And it's got some lovely sayings in this, but I thought today, know that today a friend is thinking of you is a really good set, a really good sentiment to use. So then we're going to use this die to cut this flower out. And actually there's 2 flowers. There's an open rose and then there's this kind of half open rose, which I quite like, and the 2 leaves and stuff, so that's nice. And then we're going to use this piece here because I want to change it up a little bit, as I said. So what we're going to do is we're going to just position this where we want it, and then we're going to run that through the Big Shot, and that should cut out just those pieces, okay, and leave us with a little flash of the lovely lipstick going through. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually going to start with my Big Shot work. So I'm going to grab my Big Shot, move all this out of the way. Okay, and I don't know what it looks like because I haven't actually made the card. So you know, it could end up looking awful, but we'll see. Hopefully it won't. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out that rose. So find your multi-purpose adhesive strip, pop that in, pop your rose down on top, and it fits lovely, just like that. Run that through, and off we go. There we go. And because it's in the multi-purpose adhesive sheet, I do just run it through twice. Normally I don't bother running through twice because my Big Shot normally cuts beautifully, especially with that central platform with the new plates that we get. But with the multi-purpose, because it's slightly thicker, I just run it through twice, and you can see it's cut through, hopefully it's cut through that. Okay, so now we're going to position this, and I'm going to take the plate out. I'm going to move that over a bit. I'm going to take the plate out. Oops. My tiny bits of tape that I have. I haven't got my magnetic plate because they're detailed, and I want this hump here to help me cut through stuff, and that's what you get in the middle of the new sheets. So I'm just going to position this with the florets kind of going upwards, but I want it to be equidistant. That's about right. So I might take a little, the problem is I don't want to use tape and have it tear my cardstock when it comes off. Normally my washi tape's pretty good, so I'll use some that's a bit old and hopefully it won't damage the cardstock behind it. Okay, so obviously if you've got the magnetic plate out, you're okay. You don't need to do that because it'll hold it in place for you. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in. I'm going to run this through. I'm going to see what it looks like. No idea, but I'm kind of hoping it's going to look good. Okay, so this one I wouldn't go through twice. It should have cut out perfectly, and you can oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's cut there beautifully. Right, so let's move this out. Oh, it does do funny things to my lighting when I've got my Big Shot out. It's all the plates, I think, because they're so like bright. Okay, so now if I carefully peel off this tape, very carefully, and then peel that bit off there. There we go. We should have a row of things that have popped out, and they have left a slight line. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to be okay with that because I think the visual of the red showing through is going to take the line out of your eye line. So I'm just popping these through. You could do this with your brush as well. That also works. There we go. Take those out. Ooh, don't need those. Put those in my little bin. There we go. So there, that looks nice, doesn't it? And then if we pop that onto the red, then you'll see what I mean by that red just showing through there. I think that looks really nice. If you want to try and get rid of the line, the best thing that I do, or I've found, is that you just turn it over, turn the card over, just run your bone folder just gently along where the line is on the other side, and it helps a little bit, not masses, but it does help kind of make it flatter. Okay, so that's pretty much, that's done. So our rose is done. Now it's just the stamping, and then we'll just pop the flower on and see where we're going to stamp. Okay, so that's going to go there like that. So our stamping is going to come down here, and the rose is going to sit there. Cool. So I always outline where I'm going to put everything before I do my stamping, because then I roughly know in my eyes that's where it's going to go. And actually, because this is now got a cling on the back, woohoo, you can see the words through it, so that's really good. So I'm just going to go down here. And lift. How's that? Yeah, it's a bit crooked. Okay, I'm going to do it on the other side. I've decided it's too crooked on this side, so I'm going to go and do it on the other side. Rather than just recut everything, I've just flattened all that down with a bone folder and it looks fine as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to come in here again That's better. Yeah, it's a bit deceptive because the friend and the U kind of go a bit lower, so it's a bit deceptive and it looks like it's coming down when it isn't really. So, I mean, it is slightly, but we'll live with that. So there we go. So that's your stamping done. So then we're going to pop that on there, like so. I should have done my stamping before I did my cutting. That's what I should have done. But there you go, you live and learn. So we're going to pop that just there. So let's put that down now first. Get this glued into place. But don't they just work so great together? I just, you know, I bang on about it all the time. You must get really bored. But coordination is the best thing in life. If you can get stuff that's coordinated and you just don't have to worry that everything's going to work perfectly together. And these flowers that are in the All My Love suite, they're just perfect with this rose. So I'm just going to ping this rose out. Now you do have to be slightly careful when you ping these out when they've got multi-purpose adhesive sheets behind them, because sometimes the sticky comes off the cardstock, so then you get sticky bits. Comes out beautifully from your die. So just occasionally these bits come away from their multi-purpose sheet and then you get them sticking to each other. So just pop these out. They come out really easily. You know, you could also use the die brush for this, but I'm being lazy just for a second because there's not very much. I love seeing them come together, how it all works and how they look when all the pieces are out, because sometimes you can't tell from looking at the dies. You can't tell what it's actually going to look like. I didn't even know this rose was here until the first time I cut it through, and then went, oh look, there's a rose, that's nice. There's like another rose. I knew this one was here, but okay. So as you can see, that's now cut out beautifully, and then you just have to lift the backing. This can be a little tricky, but I just use my pokey tool, and I get my pokey tool underneath one of these joins where it's cut out basically, because then it's already got a cut in it, and I pick that up, whip that off, turn that over, and then you just place it wherever you like. So this time I'm going to go here, I think. Bring that down a little further this time. There we go. So that goes in there, and then we're just going to get rid of the offending one that was crooked, and then I'm just going to put some in here just to make sure it's you know, in under that. It's not which way is my leading edge? Ooh, they're very close today. I'm going to go with that one. So that is going to go down there like that. There we go. Get that straight. And there, see, that looks nice, I think, with that added pop of colour coming through the top. Just adds an extra layer to the card. So simple and a little bit more stepped up. So there you go. 2 cards designed with the All My Love Designer Series paper, the Be Mine stitched framelits, and just basically lovely lipstick. So because of Sale-a-bration going on at the moment, if you purchased the stitched shapes framelits and the papers, well, why wouldn't you? You know, gorgeousness in a pack. So grab the papers, the dies, an ink pad, and the coordinating cardstock that goes behind here. Then you could get this stamp set for free. So basically you can make all of this just with that and some of the cardstock, some of this cardstock. Okay, so that's what you need to get. All the details, and then you get this stamp set for free, so then you can finish off with the sentiment that is the one that I've used there, which I think is gorgeous. But you could do loads with this set of products. So all the details are in my description below. If you're watching this on my blog, all the details are in the little product sales listing showing below. So pop them in your basket, click through, and then choose this as your celebration item, which is part of my story. And you could be making these as soon as your box comes through your door. Don't forget to put my house code in, because then you get more free stuff from me. You get a thank you gift every single month. Alrighty, so thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my little Be Mine stitched framelits cards, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, take care, bye.